Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Whole Foods Market has Thanksgiving gatherings covered. First things first, reserve your no antibiotics ever fresh whole turkey today, starting at $2.99 a pound. Or go with their organic spiral cut bone-in ham, full of seared-in flavor. For sides, choose Whole Foods Market grab-and-go platters. Go even further and get your whole meal catered. Just order online by November 26th. Get Thanksgiving ready at Whole Foods Market. Terms apply.
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast. You know, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code, The Run Podcast. And this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but football season's rolling strong, and I got to make sure I go to another game. I went to a crappy Bears game, but had to go ahead, create my account, use the code, get the tickets, get the $20 off. That's what you need to do as well. Anyway, look, man, there's some rumors going on in college football. I've been trying to keep y'all updated with the college football news and all of that stuff, but this is some big time news. I guess it would really, to me, I think it would change the dynamic of college football. If it did happen, I think the college football would lose some hype if it happened. It would just be wild. So there's rumors about Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, possibly leaving Colorado football. And the main thing and the main reason why a lot of sources are saying, oh, will he leave? He may leave. It's actually possible. Is because Shedeur Sanders, his son, is going to the NFL. Shiloh Sanders is also about to go to the NFL. Travis Hunter is also about to go to the NFL. And these are all key guys who've been with Deion Sanders from Jackson State all the way to Colorado. They played, this is their second year in Colorado, and they've really turned it around, as you know. So now they're going from Colorado to the NFL, and people are wondering if Deion Sanders is going to go from Colorado to the NFL as well. And me personally, I think this is a bunch of just bull crap. I highly doubt, I absolutely doubt that Coach Prime leaves Colorado, just for the simple fact that there is literally no upside to him leaving college football and going to play for one of the sorriest teams and going to coach one of the sorriest teams in the NFL. It's just not convenient at all. This man is literally the face of college football coaching right now. So he has it all going for him. He already done brought in a bunch of income for college football in the NCAA. So everybody loves him. Social media is getting huge traction. TV viewings are skyrocketing. All of it is going through the roof right now. So I highly doubt that, he'll get any extra love on that next level in the NFL. And I doubt that's what he's looking for. But to me, it's just like, it's no upside of him going to the NFL. There's no legitimate sources that said so far that, he's actually going to go or he may possibly go. It's just been a lot of wishful thinking of will he go? And I just want to end all of it right now. I honestly can't even believe that I'm dedicating some time to Coach Prime possibly even leaving Colorado, because I just really think it's that silly. I think it's that silly. The man has said multiple times on interviews and on air about how he wants to legitimately build the program. He wants to legitimately be by its side and help the kids, help the program grow, bring in new people, and turn something around, turn a Power 5 school around into an organization and a powerhouse that they are slowly becoming. So I doubt. They're in year 2. He's already seen some progress. His team is winning. They're ranked. I doubt he leaves. I mean, a job security. When I'm thinking about the different things of going to the NFL to actually play or actually coach. When I think about coaching in the NFL, the first thing that comes to mind, honestly, the job security. You get this big salary increase, of course, but ultimately it might not even be as much as you're making now with the college football endorsements and also too the salary. You're one of the highest paid coaches in college football. So, that may not even be that much of a difference, especially starting off as a coach in the NFL. It probably won't be no $20 million deal like Andy Reid because he's won multiple Super Bowls. They know what he can do in the league. But the job security, man, coaches is getting fired left and right. You have 2 bad seasons. They already looking at you sideways. You got fans at the game chanting your name talking about fire Coach Prime. So no, that's the first things first right there. The second thing is you cannot handpick who you're going to have on your team like you can with college football. Like you decide you want to be a coach in the NFL, you can't handpick your team. They're going to say, hey, we want you to coach the Cowboys. And you're going to look at the pieces and be like, damn, this is tragic. I can't do it. We about to be 3-8 again. This is about to be bad. Versus where NCAA and college football, you're actively recruiting. You're actively handpicking the guys that you want on your team and with your team. So I think, the situation you walk into is what you get. You look at teams like the Raiders. With Antonio Pierce, you look at the Bears, they're about to fire Eberflus, and we know that's coming at any moment now, but those situations, coaches had to just walk into those situations and try and turn it around. And I mean, hey, if the front office isn't on board with certain things, they don't want to spend money, then it's going to hurt you, whereas with college football, all you got to do is make sure you're recruiting the right guys and making sure you're building the correct program. But you can't do that in the NFL, so that's going to hurt there. There's less control over the players because we all know how college athletes get exploited when it comes to the practice times and all the hard work that they have to do because they want to go to the next level or because they want to get endorsements. A lot of guys in the NFL, they already got the bread. They already got paid. They're in commercials. They're on TV. And you see it a little bit in college football, but mainly those guys who are on TV and getting the money and stuff, it's only a few of them. It's only a few of them that's really getting money. The rest of them is trying to get there. So you telling them as a coach, like, hey, this is what you got to do if you want to get there. Versus NFL, no, you got to find a completely different way. That's why we don't see a lot of college coaches go to the NFL and have a high success rate. Nick Saban, one of the greatest college football coaches ever to coach college football, went to the NFL and turned into a complete flop. That's exactly why he went back to college football to coach in that NCAA. So I think Deion Sanders, man, him going to the NFL would just be silly. I highly doubt that it actually happens, but of course, I just got to entertain the nonsense because nonsense just continues to pop up over and over and over again. But I just want you to know, no, don't buy into that hype. The same way a lot of people bought into the hype with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Don't buy. I'm telling you right now, don't buy into the hype. This is all it is. Deion Sanders ain't going to the NFL to coach. I doubt it. I would be extremely surprised. I would have to owe y'all an apology. I would have to owe an apology. Anyway, look, man, we got a quick segment here. It's time to hold somebody accountable.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. From the co-director of Shrek and the visionary behind Toy Story comes Spellbound, a magical new animated adventure starring Rachel Zegler, John Lithgow, Jennifer Lewis, Nathan Lane, and Titus Burgess with Javier Bardem and Nicole Kidman. When a powerful spell turns her parents into monsters, Princess Elian must journey into the wild to reverse the curse before it's too late. Watch Spellbound only on Netflix November 22nd.
Because we heard some nonsense. My guy, actually, Micah Parsons, man, one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL, one of the best in the NFL, a defensive player. I got to hold him accountable today because he was on the pod saying some crazy stuff, man. And this dude, he has his own podcast. I mean, he's doing his thing. It's The Edge with Micah Parsons. And I got to hold him accountable. So I'm going to just play the audio for you, and then we'll elaborate a little bit on what's going on here. Here it is.
I'm going to put this out there. We're a damn good football team. I know the scores ain't showing it, and I know obviously people feel like we got so many missing pieces, but I just truly believe like you almost got to go to things like the things that we messing up on. Like I think our defense is really turning things around. Like up until that last quarter when they got that touchdown defense, we only really gave up those 2 touchdowns in that first quarter. But other than that, we gave up 6 points in the other 2 quarters. I just hate that, the score don't really show how good we actually are. And I hate that, it seems like, especially for me, you know how good of a coach Al is and how good of a coach I think Zim's doing. I'm just speaking defensively. How good, our coaches have been. I just hate that outcome because our coaches is really doing an amazing job. And
and they study hard too, just to have a game plan for us, just to try to help us, win football, and it don't be working out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it loud and clear. It just don't be working out. And I want to tell you right now, this is what you get when you get athletes speaking on their own performances. This is what you get. And I love Micah Parsons, bro. And like, he's a great player. I love it. I'm all in for athletes having their own podcasts and stuff, but this is what you get. This is what you get. You get emotionally attached to the culture, the coaching staff, the management, the players. Like, you're emotionally attached, so you can't really observe what is really, really going on, because sometimes you can't see how big the crowd is when you stand in front row at the stage. You can't see everybody behind you. And that's sometimes what's going on, because you're locked in, you're going to practices and all of that, but it's hard to see that fans and analysts' perspective of what's really happening with this team, bro. Because, I get, you feel like y'all a good football team, and I personally feel like the Cowboys are a talented football team, but you're not a good football team altogether. You're talented individuals, and that culture with the Dallas Cowboys absolutely stinks. It stinks. It reeks of garbage. Because, man, it's no reason that much talent on the team should be this bad. And I really think it's a leadership problem. The Cowboys are the only professional sports team in America that haven't won a home game in 2024. Awful. That's not a good football team. That tells me, regardless of how many dynamic athletes you have on the team, the leadership is just really not sending a message where it's clicking to everybody to light a fire to actually win a game. You've had multiple chances to win a home game. You still haven't done it. You're still losing games. 5-game losing streak. Your own starting quarterback even said it on the sideline. Yeah, we suck, bro. You seen him mouth it on the sideline where he said it in the middle of a game. And for me, when I'm watching the Cowboys, I just see a lack of effort out there. It's not even like, they're making a bunch of mistakes, which they are, but I just see a lack of effort. And to me, when guys are out there and they're chilling, they're just playing for themselves. You got this guy working hard. You got that guy slacking a little bit. To me, it's a culture thing. The head coach, I think it starts from there. Actually, no. Let's even go higher. I think it starts all the way up there with Jerry Jones. And that man not giving a damn about what this team is doing outside of the popularity and the financial aspect of what this team is doing. And that is just trickling down from GM, front office, again, Jerry Jones, to head coach, to position coaches, and now you're looking at the players on the field sideways, and those guys are the ones that's really taking the blame for it. But ultimately, they're talented individuals, but as a football team, you guys reek. And it doesn't take a genius to realize that. But I think when you're so invested and you're watching and you're doing everything you're going to practice, you're working hard, you're cool with the coaches, you're cool with the other players and all of that, and y'all all talented individuals, it's hard to really see that awful performance of what you're doing out there and how it looks on the field. Yeah, you go back and watch film, so I know you can identify some of these errors, but as a collective, it looks awful. And that's why people say, oh no, this is an awful football team. They're not good. So, hey, Cowboys, I'm sorry, bro. That's not a good football team. Micah Parsons, all love to him, man, doing this thing. He's been balling. He's been facing some injuries and stuff, but all respect. But nah, bro, that's not a good football team. I will push back on that 10 times out of 10. I think it's talented individuals there. Not a good football team, though. It takes more than 7 people, 11 people to be a good football team. It takes more than 22 people to be a good football team. It takes more than 40 people to be a good football team. And the Dallas Cowboys, not a good football team. can't let that one slide. Can't let that slide. So I had to go ahead and hold him accountable. All right, look, man. So look, leave us a quick take. If you heard something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead, shoot us a quick take on our voicemail line. We got some news coming up, but the voicemail line number is 219-413-9405. And then, of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. Go ahead, shoot us a quick take, your thoughts or questions, replies, anything about something I said. But anyway, look, we got some news coming up, some college football, also NFL, and then we got a Thursday night game happening pretty soon. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. It's halftime.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
The holiday season officially starts when you get that first card in the mail. Shutterfly makes it easy to add more meaning to the everyday with hundreds of holiday card designs that can be personalized in seconds with your favorite photos from this year. Select your greeting, customize the color, and even add little extras like personalized foil to make a holiday card that really shines. Enjoy 40% off with code SMILE40 at Shutterfly.com and send something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
All right, so let's get into it, man. It's news for the run. So some college football. I gave you guys the rankings from last week, but this time I'm going to give you a couple of the games that I know I for sure will be watching this upcoming Saturday. So starting off Friday night, I'm not going to catch the Friday night game. It's UNLV and San Jose State. Should be good, but if nothing else is on, maybe I'll tune into some NBA, but I probably won't watch that, but up to you. Just want to throw that out there. If you're listening, it is Friday night for you. Maybe you can tune on a game. But the main game I'm going to have all eyes on is Indiana versus Ohio State. This is a major matchup here. This is happening in Columbus, Ohio. So Ohio State will have the home field advantage. Now this is number 2 versus number 5. Number 5 is Indiana, but mind you, Indiana still has not lost a single game yet this season. A lot of people have been calling Indiana frauds because they haven't played the best of the competition, but this is one of the teams here where you're matching up against the best of the best. And also, I'm on the side where I think Indiana is going to take care of business on the road just because of the fact, man, yeah, they haven't played the best of the best, but man, they've been putting up some huge point margins, and hey, we will see in this matchup against Ohio State this upcoming Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So for East Coast and Pacific, hey, y'all got to figure it out. Other than that, man, another game I'm going to watch too probably is Ole Miss in Florida. Number 9 is Ole Miss right now. Florida, this is a good SEC matchup. So, it's always going to be some good football there. You got Texas and Kentucky. Texas should probably take care of business here. They're sitting at number 3. Kentucky is unranked, but of course, you never know. This is, could be a trap game, as they say, or another matchup where Kentucky is looking to try and upset and knock down a Power 5 school or a top 5 school that's ranked right now. Penn State, Minnesota definitely has my eye in the Big Ten. Colorado, Kansas should be a good one. Colorado has been taking care of business so far. They're ranked number 16. Kansas is unranked, so they definitely can't afford to lose this game. They would probably get knocked out of the top 25 and lose that chance of getting to the playoffs and having a bowl game. Other than that, man, Army and Notre Dame. Now, this is a game here. Definitely want to check out Army and Notre Dame just for the fact that Army, man, they're 9-0. They're still one of the last undefeated teams left. And so far, man, Army, you can say what you want about the competition of them not playing the best schools, but they've been whacking some of these teams, man, putting up some good numbers against these teams. And I say, go ahead, check them out. They're playing against number 6, Notre Dame, who's only lost 1 game so far. Notre Dame, they lost to a smaller school in Northern Illinois. So this could be a chance where they lose to another school that they should probably beat when you look at the upset charts of a number 6 school versus a number 19. But hey, I got to check out Army because they're undefeated, and I want to see what that's going on. But that's happening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Do the math wherever you are. Boise State and Wyoming should also be a good game. But also the main one here, I got to watch. I hope my team takes care of business. Alabama versus Oklahoma should be a solid game. This game is happening in Oklahoma. So I'm expecting a good matchup, man. And hopefully, Alabama takes care of business because they already lost 2 games and they're 4-2 in the SEC. So I'm just, man, whew. I'm a little worried about that one. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little worried. But anyway, I hope that turns out good. Anyway, I got some news for the run in the NFL. In the NFL here, the New York Giants are all over the tabloids. So New York Giants will officially bench Daniel Jones for reasons that summed up to be a football decision. Now, Giants are 2-8, so we know the playoffs are not happening. But although Daniel Jones is completely healthy, it's rumored that Giants benched him to protect the team from the next year's $23 million injury guarantee. So, of course, if Daniel Jones got injured, then Giants would be out of $23 million and paying him while he can't actually participate and play in the facility. So the New York Jets, they're also in the news. The Jets, they're making changes to the front office. They've been having a lot of different changes so far this season. We've seen them lose their head coach, offensive coordinator was promoted, and now they fired their GM. So they're losing a lot of different pieces. I don't know if this is Aaron Rodgers doing, but Joe Douglas is no longer there. He's no longer a part of the team with the Giants front office. Now, some of the games you can look forward to this week coming up in the NFL should be pretty good. You got the Vikings and the Bears, another NFC North matchup that should be great. Obviously, we've seen what happened to the Bears last week against the Packers game. A lot of people thought the Bears almost had it. They should have won, but just did not go their way. Lions versus the Colts should be a smackdown. I'm anticipating another 45, another 50 piece. We know how the Lions been getting down lately. Dolphins play the Patriots. Shouldn't be anything special. I probably won't keep too much of an eye on that. Cowboys and the Commanders should be good. A conference matchup. This game is happening in Maryland. Commanders are at home, so Cowboys on the road. Maybe they look to turn it around. 5-game losing streak. Maybe it ends here. Who knows? Chiefs, they play the Panthers, so we know what that's going to be. Panthers probably going to walk away with an L, even though they're at home. Texans and the Titans, Broncos and the Raiders playing each other. Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. This is a game where I think we should definitely see some good play. I will say the Packers did not look that great against the Bears. Bears do have a solid defense, but Packers, from a team we're expecting a lot of, they didn't really look all that great. A lot of people could say the same about the 49ers too, though, but I'll still probably pay a lot of attention to that game. You got the Cardinals and the Seahawks, which should be good as well. Cardinals, they're 6-4 right now, trying to find a way to stay positive and get away from 500 as much as they can on the positive side. Seahawks, they're exactly at 500, trying to get above 500. So we'll see what happens with that. That game is going to be played in Seattle, but I mean, hey, that should be a solid game to watch as well. And then primetime game, you got the Eagles versus the Rams. Eagles been on a tear, but a lot of people been whispering and saying they ain't played no competition yet. So this is partially some competition. Matthew Stafford is never going to go down easy with the Rams. And then, he's got some of his healthy receiving options back. So we'll see what really happens in this primetime matchup. Monday Night Football, you got the Ravens and the Chargers as well, which should be a spectacular performance. Chargers 7-3, Ravens 7-4. Ravens done lost back-to-back games. In games, a lot of people deemed they should have won. Should be something special here in this matchup. But Thursday Night Football, this is where we come to an end with the news. This game is happening tonight. Maybe you already watched it because it's Friday, or maybe you're about to watch it right now. But you got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. And I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm really not sure how I feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I haven't really figured it out with the Steelers. Like, I don't know if they're actually that good or if they're just like winning games in lucky ways and just dodging losses more than they're actually winning games, because they just beat the Ravens. only kicking field goals. They didn't score a touchdown. This is the second time that happened. It happened against the Atlanta Falcons in week 1. They beat the Falcons. Didn't score a touchdown, only field goals. And then it just happened again. They played the Ravens. A lot of people thought the Ravens was going to walk all over them. And that did not happen. Steelers ended up winning. Kicked the hell out of some field goals, ended up winning the ball game. So it's like they're playing against the Browns. I think the Steelers are gonna end up winning. Obviously, the Browns have had their own struggles in trying to figure things out. Jameis Winston's been trying to figure some things out, but I don't think the Steelers will let that happen. When you consider the factors that's going in their favor right now. 5-game winning streak. They beat both good and bad teams, so you really can't talk bad about the Steelers and what they're doing because you got to give them credit for beating the good teams too, no matter how you want to put it they've been getting lucky. This has been happening. I don't know if they're actually legit, whatever the case is. I mean, they're still winning games. A win is a win in the NFL. And I always say, no matter if it's ugly, if it's cute, if it's a cheating type of win, those wins don't come easy in the NFL, man. Don't come easy at all. So I'm curious if the Browns will actually step up. We know same division, AFC North, anything can truly happen when you're playing teams in your same division. I don't know why, but that's just the way it always seems to work out. Whenever we see these divisional matchups, that's when the team who's underestimated decides they want to turn into the 2008 Patriots and really just put on a show. So we really don't know. I think the Steelers will win. But it'll be interesting to watch, man. Above all, Browns, they ain't been hot stuff this year. They ain't been hot stuff at all. They won like 1 of the last 8 games that they played. So they haven't been hot stuff at all. We've seen Jameis Winston have 1 good game against the Ravens. I don't know why the Ravens is just the team that everybody decides to play good against. But again, this is what I mean. The same conference, the same division is where teams really start to just turn up. Browns played the Ravens. Nobody thought the Ravens was going to lose that game. And then all of a sudden, Jameis Winston has himself a night. So it's interesting. Anything can truly happen. And I don't think that will be the case tonight with the Steelers and the Browns. But this is a game I wouldn't bet on. I wouldn't bet money line on this game. Wouldn't do that. Other than that, man, I did actually place a bet. We're going to share that really quick before we wrap up the episode. And then I'll, give you guys some, just a positive note to end on. But I did go ahead and throw something out there. So hopefully it does win. If you watch the game or if you're listening to it after the game, I mean, obviously you're going to know if it hit or not. But I did a play, man, and it's a plus. It has a bonus onto it, a plus 33% parlay boost. It's a 4-pick parlay. The odds are 1,064. So it's some pretty decent odds on it, but I had a George Pickens TD, anytime touchdown. Nick Chubb, anytime touchdown score. Nick Chubb, 40 rushing yards. George Pickens, 40 rushing yards. This, I tried to play it somewhat safe, but just considering it's going to be kind of an ugly night out there with the weather and all of that, I figure Nick Chubb is definitely going to get his fair share of touches where he can pick up 40 yards. And I also figure, the Browns aren't the best team to throw the ball in the red zone. So, of course, they're going to be trying to hand it off to Nick Chubb, hopefully get him involved heavily whenever they're in the red zone. And then with George Pickens, man, George Pickens has had 40 yards in 8 out of his last 10 games this season. So, obviously, we know the weather is going to be a factor, but I still think he'll pick up 40 yards because the way I look at it is that's just one pass. That could be one pass. That could be one deep bomb, and that's easily way above 40 yards. And then for the touchdown, he's been getting an insane amount of targets in the red zone. 38% of the Steelers' red zone targets goes to George Pickens. So this is where I'm like, all right, I feel comfortable with him possibly getting some sort of fade ball in the red zone, or maybe he does take it big and cut it all the way up to the touchdown. So I don't know. We'll see, man. Hopefully it happens, though. Don't recommend telling just because I don't want anybody to ever have their losses on me or their wins. I mean, it's on you. If you want to, it's at your own risk. But I tell other people. I don't come up with I rarely ever come up with my own bets, truth be told. I'm not going to sit here and cap to you about it. I usually tell other people and what bets I see. They present the research. I choose if I want to go with it or not. And I mean, we win, sometimes we lose, so we'll see. But this was going to be a win tonight, hopefully. But other than that, man, that's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate you if you've been kicking it, of course, just hanging with us. I'm going to leave y'all with a positive note. The positive note, I'll say, man, is embrace the day. Just embrace the day in front of you. Whether it's an ugly, gloomy day like we've been seeing a lot lately out here in Chicago, or if it's, bright and sunny, just embrace the day as if it's your last. I know it sounds harsh, but you just truly, genuinely never really know. So you got to make the best out of every single moment. Make the best out of the people you love that's nearby you. Make the best out of the time and situations that you love and that you get to experience. So accept it however you want to accept that. And other than that, man, hey, I'm up out of here. About tired as hell, boy, so I'm about to watch this game. And other than that, we'll be back later on next week. It'll probably be a funky week next week too because of Thanksgiving. So you'll see. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Whatever. Send this to a cousin, a brother, an uncle, a niece, a nephew, coworker, friend, anyone you know, and I promise you they're not gonna mind, especially if I talked about their team. Send this to Micah Parsons. Had to hold him accountable. Other than that, man, I'm up out of here, and I'll see y'all later on next week, and so on, and so on, and so on.